All right, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about how to fill out your reserve enlisted development plan. A few things you're going to need to get started is you're going to need your CAC card, you're going to need a CAC reader, and a laptop or computer of your choice. So to get started, we're going to start from Google here, and we're going to go to my.af.mil to get to the portal. We'll accept the agreement, log in. In the quick links, we'll search VPC, which will pop up as the first link here, and we'll click on it. Accept the agreement, log in again. All right, once we get to the dashboard, we're going to go to Action Requests. And from there, we will scroll down. On the lower right-hand corner, you will see Reserve Enlisted Development Plan, or R-EDP. We're going to click on that. When I click on it, I'm going to get an error message. If you have not filled one out or have not started working on one, you will not get this message. It'll take you straight to it. If you've already started to fill one out, it's going to direct you to go to your work list tab and select it from there. So I'm going to click OK, up to my work list tab. I'm going to double click my REDP. All right, and then it's going to open this up. So what your REDP is it provides a way for our reserve enlisted members it gives them a venue to submit their development plan to a mentor first if they choose to. That's not required, but you can, through their chain of command, and then ultimately to headquarters ARPC. Everyone's going to look at that, and they are going to tell you if you have certain goals, certain aspirations. There may be some things that you need to do. You may get vectored into a different unit. You may get vectored into some schools in order to accomplish your goals. It's just going to give you a really good sight picture of what you need to do to accomplish what your goals are, and it gives you a chance to sit down and actually think about what you want out of your career and what you want to do as a reserve enlisted member. So we'll start here. Obviously, member info. Anything that's bolded or has an asterisk, that is going to be mandatory. It's not going to allow you to submit it without that information filled in. If you see down here, the duty AFSC is the most important one here. If you have multiple AFSCs, go ahead and fill this in. But whichever duty AFSC you have filled in is the one that's going to go, that's which development team it's going to go to. So let's say, for example, I not only held a 3D1 career field, but let's say I also held a 1 and 2 career field. And in the future, I wanted to take an Intel job as opposed to an RF trans job. I would swap my duty AFSC to the 1 and 2 career field. That way it goes to that correct development team, and they can help direct me in the right direction of what I need to do to accomplish those goals. Make sure all this information is filled out correctly. What type of status are you willing to serve as? I checked IMA, TR, and AGR. You can pick whatever works for you and your desires and goals. Willingness to change unit and location of assignment. I'm willing to change, but as you can see, I'm not willing to change very far. I'm kind of bound here to the Colorado Springs area. You can open that up to not only CONUS, but OCONUS if you're interested in going overseas. Are you willing to commute, and how many miles? Again, yes or no, and you can select all the way out to 250. That'd be a rough drive every day, but if that's what you want to do, you can select that option. That's so that they can align you with proper jobs and proper assignments, like with things that you can or cannot do based on your personal situation. What do you want your next level of assignment to be? This is up to you. You can pick it here. The whole point of this is so that you can send this up to a mentor or someone who can help tell you what you need in order to accomplish those goals. What are you missing? What PME do you need? What types of education, what type of development opportunities do you need to move into a different position in your current unit and serve there for a while before you can move up into your goal position? That's up to you. Again, here's the position. In the comments, I would recommend that you talk about not only what you want, but why you want it and how it's going to benefit the Air Force. If you cover all three of those bases, you're going to be doing pretty well. All right. Would you consider attending developmental education in the coming year? There's going to be a video right after this on the Enlisted Development Education Board. I'll go more into depth on what that is in that video, but if you are interested in attending the EDEB, there are things that you have to accomplish. And again, that's where your mentor, chain of command, and the development team can help tell you what you need to do in order to be more competitive for those slots, because there's really not that many of them. Let's see here. Additional information. So what's your civilian or volunteer work experience? Sometimes there are shortages in the Air Force where your career field, like for instance, mine's RF trans, but if I have a background, like a deep background in my civilian or volunteer experience in networking, and there's someone who out there who needs a short-term person to help them set up a huge network center, or if it's in data and you got somebody setting up a data center, you could be asked or given the opportunity to go and take a long-term assignment out there to help with that project. So it's always important to fill this in and fill it out correctly. Additional qualifications and skills. Again, this is just amplifying on that. If you have any other certifications or anything that might fit in with short-term assignments. Okay, so your goals. You have your 6-month to 1-year goals. These, for me, have changed every single year. Some of them I hit, some of them I don't. Some of them I completely change my mind on, and that's okay. But you plan out basically in little chunks and sections here the next 5 years of your career. And even though it changes every year, it's nice to have a path, and it's nice to know, like, even sometimes to look back on what you thought you wanted and what you tried that wasn't really exactly what you thought it was going to be. If you keep scrolling down here, okay, you will get feedback from the development team. They'll usually tell you there's something that you're missing that you need to do, something that you can do next. For me, it was to complete. One of the things was to complete the cyberspace superintendent course, which I knocked out. Which makes it that's a requirement if you're going to be a superintendent. And since my goals are to someday be a superintendent, it's good that I went on ahead and checked that box. You also get feedback from your chain of command and whoever you route it to in your chain of command, and also mentor if you choose to. So it's up to you. If you want to send that to a mentor, if you want to send it to a mentor, you can just click mentor review here and then search and pick that actual individual that you want to search. So I'm going to put mine for review, and let's see, I'll put in my current supervisor just to show how this works. All right, and if I wanted it to go for mentor review, I would leave it just like this and click submit. If I wanted to come back to it and work on it a little bit more, I would click save. Once you send it to your mentor, they'll look at it, then they'll send it back to you. Once that's accomplished, you're going to come in, you're going to choose the rater, and you're going to search to choose the person, which we just did. You just saw that, and then you're going to choose a senior reservist, and you will search that person too. If you don't know who that is, it's going to be different for every unit. But if you don't know who that is, just ask your supervisor and they'll tell you who to fill in there. All right, we're going to pretend that I submitted this, and now I am waiting to see what the status of it is. As you can see, it's down here in my box, but once I submit it, it's not going to be down there anymore. It's going to be gone. But what I can do to check the status of it is I can go in here to and change this drop-down box on view to submitted by me. Then I'll make sure that this start date and end date includes the time of when I submitted it. And then I will hit refresh. And it will pop up down here. Somewhere in your box. Mine's just down at the bottom here. You can see mine still says with member, but if you had submitted it, it would either say it's at your rater, senior reservist, headquarters ARPC, or it's actually sitting with a development team. So just this little status box, and you can see where it's at to find out if it's moving. If it's not, you might want to go, and it's somebody you can go talk to. You might want to go ask them what's going on, if there's something else that they need from you before they submit it forward. All right. And then one more thing that I was asked to show you all. It's not working on my computer, but it works for almost everybody else. So not really sure what's going on here. But if you wanted to print off a full report, I don't know if you noticed when I opened it, those little boxes, you couldn't see everything that was in them. And if you try and print that or print it to a PDF, you can't see everything in the boxes. But if you select your REDP and you go down to summary report, it will open up a summary report that has everything in it, and it will show you exactly the full box, like all of it. So if you wanted to print it out and work on it from home, or if you wanted to give it to one of your troops as something they could use as a tool to see how to fill out theirs. Like I said, it doesn't work on mine, but it will probably work for you. All right, and that concludes this video. If you have any questions, just throw them down in the comments.